Chapter 2, Mishnah 1. The Mishnah at the end of the previous chapter taught that personal korbanos make a Temurah, whereas communal korbanos do not. The Mishnah now lists several differences between personal korbanos and communal ones. There are laws that apply to personal korbanos that do not apply to communal korbanos. And there are laws that apply to communal korbanos that do not apply to personal korbanos. The Mishnah begins by listing 3 laws that apply to personal korbanos but not to communal korbanos. The first of these is the law we learned at the end of the last chapter about making Temurah. Personal korbanos can produce a Temurah, whereas communal korbanos cannot produce a Temurah. A second difference is that personal korbanos come from both male and female animals, whereas communal korbanos come only from male animals. A third difference is that in the case of personal korbanos, the owners are sometimes responsible for them even after their designated time has passed, and they are responsible in these cases for their nesachim as well, i.e. they must still bring the korban and the flour and wine offerings that accompany these korbanos even after their proper time has passed. Whereas in the case of communal korbanos, they, the community, are never responsible for the korbanos once their time has passed, nor are they responsible for the nesachim of those korbanos. A communal korban that was not offered at the proper time is no longer offered, and neither are its nesachim. However, even in the case of a communal offering, once the animal korban has been offered at its proper time, they, the community, are responsible to bring the nesachim even at a later time. The Mishnah now lists 3 laws that apply to communal offerings but not to personal offerings. There are laws that apply to communal korbanos that do not apply to personal korbanos. Communal korbanos override the prohibitions of Shabbos as well as the laws of Tumah, whereas personal korbanos do not override the prohibitions of Shabbos or the laws of Tumah. The next Tana disagrees and holds that whether a korban overrides the Shabbos and Tumah prohibitions does not depend on whether it is a personal or communal korban, but on something else. Rabbi Meir said, but is it not so that the Kohen Gadol's daily Chavitin offering and the Yom Kippur Chatas bull of the Kohen Gadol are personal korbanos, yet they do override the Shabbos and Tumah prohibitions? Evidently, whether a given korban overrides Shabbos and Tumah does not depend on whether it is a personal or communal korban. Rather, the key factor is whether their time for being offered is fixed. If the korban must be offered on a specific day, it overrides the prohibitions of Shabbos and Tumah on that day, even if it is a personal korban. If the korban does not have to be offered on a specific day, it does not override the prohibitions of Shabbos and Tumah, even if it is a communal korban.